Hi, everybody. This is Jean Beauvoir, and you are listening to Tom and Zeus on Shout It Out Loudcast.
Shout it out loud, yeah. Shout it out loud, yeah. Shout it out loud, yeah. I like it.
The year is 1976. The album Rising by the band Rainbow. Welcome to episode 68 of the Album Review Crew, where we will analyze and dissect this influential and timeless early classic metal album. In a little bit, we're going to be joined by SiriusXM radio host and friend of the show, Eddie Trunk. But until then, Zeus, it's just me and you. What's up?
Yeah. And before we do anything, we always go back to last month's episode, and that was Bob Seger's Night Moves. And the neckbeards came out for that.
Oh, yes. Who doesn't love those? And we did a poll, as always. We had our friend, the great Mike Shue, Boston area radio legend. He was on that episode with us. It was a ton of fun. So
dude, by the way, have you noticed Mike's fucking... people think I was just fucking making that up or giving him shit. Every other fucking video of his is him eating food in Worcester again.
Or trying to find a place to get weed.
Yeah.
Or talking about weed or edible. That's all it is. I love him. I love the guy.
He is the fucking best.
He's the best. He's the king of Worcester. Absolutely. That's yes. So we did a poll, 4 songs, best song off of Night Moves by Bob Seger. The options were Night Moves, the title track, Main Street, Rock and Roll Never Forgets, and The Fire Down Below. No surprise here. The title track, Night Moves, wins the poll at 53%. Rock and Roll Never Forgets at 21, Main Street at 15, and A Fire Down Below at 11. Our good friend Izzy Presley, who you just saw pictures on our social media, we just went to the Clam Box with him. And for those that are wondering, that is not a strip joint. That is a seafood place. So that was
he is one handsome man. Let me tell you.
He is a very handsome man.
Very tall.
Wicked tall.
Somebody get that man a fucking tan. Because... yeah. Being 6'4", jean shorts, and fucking looking like someone threw a bottle of milk at you is not a good look in Massachusetts.
No, not at all. Not at all. So he says, I love that you guys picked this record. I had never listened to it until I found it at Goodwill, and I got the original vinyl. My God, I hated myself for never listening to this entire record. So good. Indeed it is. Bruce Facente says, and he's talking about our feedback when we were doing Anthrax feedback. He goes, I'm pretty sure that the guy shitting all over Zeus's opinion on Anthrax is Chunky's dad.
It's Chunks.
I know, I'm sorry, but I like reading what they write. Our buddy Bill Elam, The Fire Down Below is my jam from that album. If I may say so, my understanding of Sunspot Baby is the girl in the song was known to be in sunny resort locations like Miami or Bahamas, or also known as sunspots, where she keeps our friend on the hunt. Oh, well, Bill, I appreciate that because I had no idea. Love it. And let's look at the episode itself. Couple comments here. Saint Van Halen. We don't do comment of the week or comment of the month for ARC, but I love this one. He says, Bob Seger is everything the critics claim Bruce Springsteen was, but with 10 times the talent and songcraft. Hell yes. Nick says, excellent timing on this. I've been going through a huge Seger phase lately. Ooh, here's a comment a guy we haven't seen in a while. He's showing up here. Metal Old Guy Zeus. Remember him? Ooh. He said, now this is a great album. Thank God you got rid of that dead weight. Oh, jeez. Come on. What the fuck is he talking about? The album choices except Snoop crap have been better, and so is the conversation. Hope you do Stranger in Town soon. All right. You can compliment us. Well, Aggie Dad and Tiger Grad. Growing up, I was forced to know every word to Live Bullet and Nine Tonight. Fast forward to now, when I put his 2 vinyl on those live albums, it's a trip down memory lane with my dad. As American as rock and roll should be, the storytelling takes me back to simpler times. Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. Julian Grandison says, is it okay to like Bob and Bruce? Seems a bit binary based on some of these comments. I love Bruce and his concerts are inspiring, but I really enjoyed the Bob Seger episode, so we'll start exploring his back catalog. Julian, absolutely. There's nothing. I'm just telling you, I don't like Bruce, and a lot of people, because they're like working man, kind of like blue collar American rock and roll, they get lumped into that category. That of course, you like what you like, brother. No worries about that at all. Zeus, that's what we got on Twitter this month for Bob Seger.
All right, so let's go to the Book of Face. On the Book of Face, Gen X Jace, I think Warden. I think that's Jason Warden for some reason.
What's the username again?
Gen X Jace.
That's Warden. That's Jason Warden. Yeah.
He changed it. Okay. All right. Whatever. Love the ARC variety. Last month, Anthrax. Now Bob Seger. Anthony Barone, the Mr. Taxman, Anthony Barone, Hall of Famer, ABCPA Inc. Give them a call for all your tax needs.
Speaking of that, did you see the picture that you posted of us when we went to lunch with Izzy? I had the AB Alpha Beta shirt from Revenge of the Nerds, and our buddy Tony Barone goes, "Are you wearing an ABCPA Inc. T-shirt?" Like,
Yeah,
no, because you haven't made any yet, Tony.
That's right. Did I get you that Alpha?
Yeah.
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought
Yeah.
so.
Yeah.
I am fucking old, man. I don't remember shit. Love getting shocked in a good way every time there's a new ARC episode. Bobby Kenner. See, this is the awesomeness you guys bring to an album review. I was a casual Seger fan before this episode and knew the hits. I listened to the entire album before your review episode. It was so good. And I kid you not, on some of the tracks, in my mind, I was thinking, man, I could hear Peter Criss covering some of these. You guys felt exactly the same. Mike was a hell of a guest and brought a lot to the table. Seger is just a national treasure, pure and simple. Even Hall of Famer Joey Romanek got a Seger-related mention. Can't wait to see what you guys get next. What did we bring up with Romanek besides his stubbles?
I don't know. Did Bob Seger talk about like fitted, like slim fit pants at all? I don't think he did. Oh no, he did. He didn't remember. He says tight pants. Bob Seger at the beginning of Night Moves. He's talking about tight pants.
He was talking about neighborhood cul-de-sac associations.
It's a little too tall. Needed a reverse mortgage. Old Slim Fit Joey, hook me up.
It's funny because Bobby kind of mentions how I came into this album, and we had the exact same experience.
Nice.
Seger fan, didn't know an album from him, liked the hits, and got into it and think, damn, Peter could make this.
Yeah.
Let's go to Loudcasters. Frank Anzalone. Hell yeah. Great pick, Tom. I always had this on CD, but found a really sweet used copy on vinyl earlier this year. Hard for me to say Seger is underrated because he was a commercially successful, but I don't think he ever got the credit he deserved. Plus, he opened for Kiss on the Destroyer tour, so he got that going for him too.
Good call. Yep. Imagine that, Matt. What a tour. Bob Seger just kind of, chilling and playing some good American rock and roll, and then Kiss comes out. What a weird lineup.
Yeah.
Oh, you're about to laugh at something here.
John Whiteman.
Oh, God. Dude, this kid, he has been on, like, the most incredible stretch.
Yeah. If I didn't know him better, I'd be like, fucking Whiteman is one of our aliases or something, but he's a real person.
He's a real person.
Yeah. He put a video, an image up of the Ripper holding Bob Seger's Nightmare album. And he writes in quotations, an album so good, my onesie sprung a leak. the Ripper.
Oh, come on, man.
Dude, he's fucking something else.
Oh, God.
Cade Fulling says, his greatest hits from 94 is one of the best greatest hits album ever. That's what I have.
That's
Cade.
right.
That's what I knew. And possibly the best driving album ever. I've never listened to an actual studio album, so I'm excited to hear this. That's how I felt about it. That was
nice.
my experience. Hall of Famer Gary Capp. Angry Gary Capp. My favorite Seger album. Good choice, whoever picked it.
That was me.
Mike Murphy. Love Seger. Love this album. The title track is on my Mount Rushmore of my all-time favorite songs.
Yep.
When you're mid-40s, sitting in your backyard in front of a fire pit, enjoying a couple bourbons, Night Moves just hit the right feels in just the right way. Great pick.
Such a great way to describe it. Yes.
Joe Decker. What a fantastic pick. I defy anyone to find a more perfect vocalist to define 70s classic rock than Bob Seger. How many of his songs are in movies we love and TV commercials we all remember? Like a rock. That's all I know.
That's I love you, Joe, but that's a terrible song. But anyways,
even though I said that, he didn't.
No. I know, but he brought up TV commercials and stuff.
Even though the soundtrack to my high school years was 80s metal, I clearly remember being at parties in woods and gathered around keg, drinking beers out of our solo cups, kicking sticks, smoking cigarettes, and jamming Bob Seger on the boombox while we all sang every lyric in unison. Oh, the carefree good old days. You're the man,
nice.
Joe.
When he said kicking sticks, I thought he was talking about that shitty band.
Oh, you fucking hate them.
Dude, I don't understand how they have like I don't get that. Dennis DeYoung. I mean, stop. God. Here comes the stick. Here come the stick tards after me next month.
Fool. I got the 12 o'clock news blues.
Well, that's not bad. That's Tommy Shaw singing, so that's not that
like
bad.
That song. That video's even better. Ever see Beavis and Butthead making fun of this guy? Ooh, yeah, he goes, ooh, sexy. Who is it? Beavis, it's your mom. That's Nana. The old lady at the bar.
Nana.
Oh man. Ray Gallus adds, great episode, neck beard tards. Yeah, right. Let's go over to Blue Sky. I think we have some comments there, too.
All right.
Man, Razor, I know he told us how to say it. Fuck, I can't do it.
Occam's razor.
Yeah. Another outstanding episode, boys. My shoe was a welcome addition to the show. Makes me want to visit Worcester. No, don't
it doesn't.
Want to visit Worcester.
Have Mike meet you.
Unless you want to smell weed and piss, go to a bunch of food trucks.
You'll be covered in tacos and weed if you spend 1 hour in Worcester.
Yeah. Night Moves is something I never would have considered listening to until now. Really
nice.
Quality songwriting. Agree with the barroom boogie type of sound. Thanks. Well, glad you enjoyed it.
Love that.
So let's now go over to the YouTube portion of the show. Marty Martin, 2894. Hi, Tom and Zeus. Thanks for keeping us entertained with the best podcast on the internet. You guys have knowledge, the chemistry, and the humor. I'm not a fan of the Bush era Anthrax, nor am I a fan of Armored Saint. Nothing against John Bush. I'm sure he's a nice guy. I think Joey is the definitive Anthrax singer. That's great, buddy. Thank you for that comment, but I think you're one fucking episode fucking behind.
You're 1 month off.
This is on the Night Moves one, but all right.
That's all. Hey, we'll take it. We love the comments.
Rock Warrior says, I always interpreted Fire Below as being burning in hell for the debauchery lifestyle. Just my take. Maybe you're right.
All right.
The Jesse Ball says, having grown up in northern Michigan in the 80s and 90s, there's no such thing as a Bob Seger deep cut for me since the stations up there played his songs at least once per hour, and they still do. Definitely one of our state treasures. You know, it's funny you say that because that's how I feel about the Cars.
Yeah. Oh, apps. That's a great call. Yes. If you don't live in Boston, you probably know a couple of their hits, but around here, we pretty much know. By the way, I love the Cars, but yeah.
Yeah, and
stuff.
you're like, oh, isn't that a hit? And people are like, I've never even heard of that song.
Right.
It was on the radio all the time. What fucking radio station are you listening to?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, it's called BCN in Boston. Huh.
Yeah, which is dead now.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Tom, back to you.
All right, let's look at Spotify. Remember, people, we get comments on Spotify. You can comment directly from the episode, which is always very cool. So this comes from B. Peeves. Forgive me. I don't know if it's B. Peeves or BP Eves. I'm sorry, man. Forgive me. I say this every episode, but we love your comments. Banger of an episode. Great album and fantastic review. Seeger, you feel, doesn't quite get the recognition of a Springsteen or a Billy Joel, and yet there's not one person on the planet who wouldn't know one of his songs. I really, really like this one. But can we refocus now and do a Britney Fox review?
No!
Well, Dizzy Dean's
love that shit though.
Dizzy Dean's picket fence teeth might have something to say about that, but I don't know. See, this is the problem with these usernames. I don't know what I don't know if this is all one word.
I know.
Yeah. So, okay, Spazaroo, I guess.
Spazaroo.
Yeah, I don't know. Great guess. This show ruled. Okay. B Mills 33, awesome review, guys. I'm like Zeus that I'm a greatest hits guy when it comes to Bob Seger. Hell, he's good enough to have 2 greatest hits album, which is a great testament to him. I actually have Miami Vice to thank for drawing me to the Night Moves album. One of the episodes opened with an awesome pool scene set to the sounds of Come to Papa, and I recognize his voice immediately. Oh, that's pretty cool. Let's move on over to Instagram here. Dave Rockstar. When Metallica covered Turn the Page for Garage Days, I had a newfound respect for Bob, as he wasn't considered cool at my school back in the day. I hadn't heard this album before, but knew the songs Night Moves, which is a classic. For the quote, angry Anthrax fan, I'm glad that you guys review albums honestly rather than just pretending to like an album because it was popular. Keep on rocking, guys. Absolutely. Yes. And we'll finish up with a couple emails here. Martin Kavik, great review, guys. Tom, great call picking the album. Mike Shue obviously knows his shit, too. I've never heard him before, but he's awesome. And you all were right. This is the album Peter Criss should have recorded as his 78 solo album. Not that that was a terrible album. I wonder what Main Street would have sounded like with Peter singing it. Anyway, keep up the good work. You guys have gotten me through many boring and lonely days at work. I'd love to hear what y'all might have to say about one of my favorite albums of all time, Striper, To Hell with the Devil.
Dude, I actually had the first 3 or 4 Striper albums, up to Hell with the Devil. I think I remembered liking them, but then fucking somebody was sending me shit like, oh, this is Striper now. Listen how great this is. I was like, this fucking is horrendous.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Striper, but at least their early stuff was tolerable. Their new stuff, don't do that. Don't do that.
You're not fucking heavy metal.
No. Eric Schwenk, great album choice. Seeger is an all-time great. Seeger had a similar trajectory as Kiss. Early albums were good, but flopped. Puts out a live album that breathes life into his early songs, Live Bullet. Puts out 3 strong albums out, and he takes off. Puts out another live album, Nine Tonight, that is a perfect complement to the other live album. And they both put out crappy songs on early 80s, 90s soundtracks, i.e. Shakedown. I love that song from Beverly Hills Cop 2. Shakedown. Everybody wants to do the. I don't even know.
Hey, I just know. You busted.
You busted. Yeah, it's like dance music. And we'll finish up here with our buddy, the Grimy, Mike Grimes. Awesome Bob Seger ARC episode. One quick head scratcher that perhaps could be up for discussion as I was waiting for one of you titty-crazed maniacs to reference and possibly confirm my curiosity. A lyric in the first verse of Night Moves reads, she was a black-haired beauty with big dark eyes and points all her own, sitting way up high, way up firm and high. And then Mike says, I've always held that points was a reference to titties, right? Way up firm and high. I need both of your sage input here. Classic record, love Grimy. Look, I don't need an excuse to talk about titties there, Grimy, so let's go with it. I just don't want to. I just don't want to think about pointy titties. That's no good.
I like those pointy titties, like in the campy Batman series from like the 60s. All the fucking they all had like fucking cone tits.
Well, as long as they're not like those banana tits, though, nobody wants those either. And that's what we got for feedback on Bob Seger this month.
All righty. Well, let's take a quick little break. We'll come back. We'll bring in the great Eddie Trunk.
All right, so joining us for the first time on Album Review Crew, but he is a repeat guest on Shout It Out Loudcast, the third man in this month for our discussion on Rainbow Rising, is SiriusXM's Eddie Trunk. Welcome to ARC for the first time, Eddie.
Does my Hall of Fame status on Shout It Out Loudcast transfer to this show, or is this a separate Hall of Fame?
No, and I'm glad that I always forget it, and you always remember to remind me that I have forgotten it. So, yes, Shout It Out Loudcast Album Review Crew Hall of Famer Eddie Trunk. Thank you.
Oh, okay, it transfers. I didn't know it was
it's all across the board. It's all encompassing. Yes.
It's an umbrella honor.
Yes, yes.
See, I remember. It's an important one to me. That's why I bring it up.
Thank you. It's important to us.
This was my turn to pick an album, and Eddie, you may not know this, but I'm a big Rainbow fan, and which is funny because this is the third Rainbow album we've done out of the 60 albums we've reviewed so far. And this is the third Rainbow album with a different lead singer. Yep. I have done Down to Earth with Graham Bonnet. That is my favorite Rainbow album, surprisingly to many. And then we did the Joe Lynn Turner album. What was that?
Difficult to Cure.
Difficult to Cure, which had Can't Happen Here, which is one of my favorite Rainbow songs of all time. And then this classic. So we usually start off by how did we get into this and how did we discover the album? I'll start it off since this is my album, Rainbow. Quite simply, I had vinyl as a cassette. Yeah. And I would play it when I was younger. There's no Rainbow at this point wasn't in Circus Magazine or Hit Parader. So I didn't know. I would play it and I'd be like, wow, this singer sounds different on all these songs. And I love that Final Vinyl is a live album, but it has tracks from each era and each lead singer. So they would have the Joe Lynn Turner, Graham Bonnet, and obviously Ronnie James Dio. And so I knew some of the songs and I liked them. But as I started watching a lot of the shows that you were on, which are those VH1 shows that were so great in the 90s and the early 2000s, where they talk about hard rock or they do a countdown, top 100 hard rock bands or top 100 albums, Rainbow would come up and Lars would always talk about Rainbow. And I'd be like, yeah, Rainbow. But he wasn't talking about Street of Dreams. He was talking Rainbow Rising with that, Lars voice. And, I'm just really, Rainbow Rising was just something that I really got into. And I was like, Rainbow Rising. And so I started picking up some of the older Rainbow albums that I didn't have, which weren't the Joe Lynn Turner or Graham Bonnet. And I started getting the Dio ones. And I always had a couple Dio albums. I liked his voice. I liked Dio, but I never got into it until I bought this probably maybe in college days or something.
Yep.
And I loved it. And as time went on and on, I just saw the brilliance in it. And we're going to gush over Stargazer and all the other songs on this in a little bit. But that's when I fell in love with it. It's always been in my rotation. I love it. I love it so much. And I'm buying this Rainbow singles box set.
Nice.
Which is fantastic, which is interesting because the only single from this incredible album is Starstruck with Running with the Wolf on the back. Wow. There's no Stargazer or anything else on this or Tara Woman. So, but that's how I got into it. Eddie, do you want to tell us about your Rainbow experience, Rainbow Rising?
Well, yeah, I mean, the Lars thing is because Lars' all-time favorite band is Deep Purple. So he worships Deep Purple, as most Europeans do. And so obviously it's a natural progression for him to go from that to Rainbow. But for me, again, yeah, I'm interested. I'm surprised, Zeus, that you're like this because you're younger than I am. And even as old as I am, which I just turned 61, for me, the Rainbow I discovered was Joe Lynn Turner. My first Rainbow record was Difficult to Cure. So that's 1980. I'm still in high school.
Same here.
Yeah. So I was into that record. And the first time I saw Rainbow was on that tour and Straight Between the Eyes and that whole era. And being from New Jersey, I was also intrigued because Joe is from New Jersey. I'm like, wow, this British band, their singer's actually from up the street. It was crazy. So, and I like that version of the band very much. And those are the first shows I saw with Rainbow. But I, like you do when you get into any band, you go back and you discover what was before. Mm-hmm. And I agree with you. Down to Earth is a great record. It's really interesting when you look at Graham Bonnet because he only did one record with Rainbow, and it's great. And did one album with Michael Schenker, which is also great, Assault Attack.
Exactly.
Yes. One and done. Yep. He's the one and done guy. In both cases, he doesn't write it all. He just came in to sing, but they're great records. But then, I, of course, got into Black Sabbath with Heaven and Hell. Mm-hmm. Again, 1980.
Yep.
Middle of high school, I jumped in with Sabbath. Then I went back and I discovered the early Sabbath stuff with Ozzy. So I get into Sabbath with Heaven and Hell, and their singers, Ronnie James Dio. This guy's voice is insane. Oh, he was in a band before this? Oh, it was Rainbow? Wait a minute. They had two other singers before Grant Bonnet and Joe Lynn? Like, what's going on? And then I went back and I started getting the earlier records. And I'm sure you guys would agree, very different bands, like with Joe Lynn and Ronnie, 100%. Very different bands.
Oh, yeah.
And the hardcore Rainbow people, especially the Europeans, like they write off the Joe Lynn era. Right. And Joe Lynn gets a lot of shit from the Rainbow purists for making them a, quote, commercial band and getting them on the radio. But as Joe will tell you in a minute, that was what he was hired for. Like Blackmore got tired of not breaking in America with two different singers, with Ronnie and then Graham, that he wanted a guy that had a quote-unquote commercial voice and a guy that would get him on American radio. And Joe delivered exactly that. So Joe's always like, I always get shit for doing what I was actually hired to do by Ritchie. But, this stuff with those Dio records hold a special place to me. And I think Rising is the absolute all-time great of that era by far.
Yeah, for me, so kind of like all of us, like my first exposure to Rainbow was early MTV kids was when I saw the video for Stone Cold.
Yeah.
So, and to this day, I still love that song and I love that era. And like we always talk about, you discover a band and then when you start to dig in, you're like, oh, wait, there's like all this stuff that came before. So I've never actually owned Rising proper until Zeus picked this. So I'm a vinyl geek. I bought the remastered gatefold version of the vinyl. It sounds fantastic. But I did have one of the great Rainbow compilations was Catch the Rainbow, the compilation, which included 4 of the 6 songs from this. So I pretty much knew the album already. And then from radio and, of course, from SiriusXM, they love playing Rainbow and Dio, et cetera. And I love a lot of Dio solo stuff. I love Dio Sabbath. So we kind of come from that same thing. But when, we'll get into it, we kind of, like Zeus said, we kind of gush over the tracks and stuff. Just Rainbow Rising is just, this is just like essential, like metal, proto metal, like 101 right here for anybody like us. And if the musicianship, the songwriting, the production, the vocal, there's a reason why it's the album that it is. We're coming up on 50 years of it next year, and I'm thrilled that Zeus picked it. And Eddie, I wouldn't want anybody else but you here to talk about it a little bit. So this is going to be fun.
Well, yeah, thanks. I mean, it's also odd when you think about it because it is this classic record for people that know about it, but there's just a ton of people that have no idea of this record. Like, there's not one song on this record that it's played on classic rock radio. There's nothing even close to sniffing a hit.
Nothing.
It's not about that at all. I mean, and that's the whole story of the Dio era. I mean, maybe Long Live Rock and Roll, you hear a little bit here and there as the only song. Maybe Man on Silver Mountain. Used in a beer commercial from the first record.
The Coors Light commercial, yeah.
Yeah, but there's nothing on this record that is remotely resembling airplay hit in America. But among the people who know it and among metal fans and, like you said, prototypical metal, this was like, it's an amazing work. And I'll tell you, this bums me out about this record when you think about it too, because 3 of the people who appear on it are now deceased.
Exactly. Yeah.
Jimmy Bain, Cozy Powell, and Ronnie. So, and I don't, mean to be a downer here, but
no,
we just recently learned that Blackmore's got a bunch of health stuff that his wife revealed, and he's like 79, 80 years old. So it's amazing the time that's flying by, but you can safely say that this record will stand the test of time and be around after all of them are gone because it's just an amazing record.
Yeah. Another thing too, real quick, that kind of reintroduced me to like the awesomeness of this album was when Metallica did the Ronnie Rising medley. And they included, it starts off with they do a Light in the Black, and then they go into, they do all of Tarot Woman, they do Kill the King, they do Stargazer. Phenomenal. I mean, I'm a Metallica fan. I love James Hetfield. He's probably my favorite like metal vocalist. But listening to that, you like nobody could fucking touch Dio. Like just, I mean, I knew that before, and I love James and what he can do. But when you hear him try to do those songs, that's one thing, we'll get into is just don't fuck with Dio. Just don't do it. I mean, the guy
James would probably be the first to tell you that.
Oh, absolutely. Of course.
But I mean, I'm glad you brought that up, Tom, because that is a great medley.
No, it's awesome.
And by the way, that was that was a great tribute record. If people don't know that record, it's called "This Is Your Life." It was a tribute to Dio. Came out maybe 5 years ago or so. And the other cool thing about it is all the proceeds go to the Dio Cancer Fund. But there are great performances on there. And that medley, Metallica does like a 9-10 minute medley of all Rainbow Dio songs. And it's awesome. And like you said, it's called Ronnie Rising. It's so great.
Yeah, so good.
Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah,
it's just funny. The Rainbow Rising one critically is probably their favorite. But Success, that didn't come till later for Rainbow with the videos in the 80s. But also, since you've been gone, as much as they complain about it, that's got Rainbow back making a shit ton of money because that was in the Marvels movie, right?
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
Thank you. Yeah, that was in that fucking movie.
That's right, because they had all that classic rock on the soundtrack.
Oh, wasn't that guy James Gunn? Is that guy
James Gunn directed those, and you had Chris Pratt in them from the Jurassic Park movie. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know that it was a big hit because younger people started hearing that song again.
Yes.
But I always like, and I've said it many times on the show, that I feel like Graham Bonnet and that Down to Earth is like the compromise between what's to come and what was there before. It's right in the middle. It's got a little pop, but it's still hard. And then JLT brought it to a more melodic commercial side. And I like all three versions. It's okay. Just like Kiss fans, it's okay. You can like different eras. You can like 80s Kiss. You can like early Kiss. It's not a problem. You're not going to get in trouble.
Yeah, I talked about that today on my radio show because the Sammy and Dave Van Halen stuff just blows me away.
Oh, geez,
and I love that Sammy came out today. He's like, Roth didn't take a shot at me. That was complimentary with Roth saying about the dream with Eddie Van Halen. He's like,
I saw that. Yeah.
They try so hard. Everyone wants to just choose a side. And it's like, no, Sammy Van Halen's a different band than Dave Van Halen. And I love them both. What's the problem?
Thank you. Thank you. They both have awesome albums. Enjoy it.
Yep. I mean, it's just different bands, different sounding bands. And the same thing you could say about Rainbow. There's a big difference between Street of Dreams and Stargazer, but the common thread is that it's both extremely well played hard rock music, and it's got probably when you talk about Blackmore, I mean, this is something I say on the radio almost every day. Blackmore and Deep Purple are completely looked at differently in Europe than they are in America.
Yeah.
In Europe, they are looked at the way we look at Led Zeppelin in this country.
Yep.
And they are so sacred to so many people. And Blackmore is one of the all-time great influential guitar players in the world. He's just never going to be that in America because they just didn't have the same impact. But to the Europeans and the people that know, Blackmore is and was a god. Now, he hasn't done himself any favors because, he went away from rock for a long time and he's always a crotchety guy, didn't want to talk to the press.
You're saying that politely. You're being as polite as possible.
Well, I don't know him. I've heard
I know. Reputation is that he's a fucking asshole and difficult to interview. I love him. I people that know him say that's just a personality. He just likes to be very weird, eccentric, and sometimes he's a smug asshole and sometimes he's a jerk. But deep down, he's not a bad guy. But he doesn't open that up to everybody.
Well, I'll tell you something along that line that is crazy. One time I asked Dio, as most people know, Ronnie and I were very close, and Ronnie was on my shows countless times. And one of the times he was on my radio show, I'll never forget this. And somebody called in and said to Ronnie, how did you become a guy that is so gracious and kind to his fans, remembers people's names?
I know
is so endearing to the fans.
Yeah.
And he said on the air, well, there was a time when I was in a band with a guy that was the complete opposite of that.
Yep.
So I learned very quickly that I needed to overcompensate for him and as the front man of the band be the opposite. And of course he was talking about Rainbow.
Ritchie. Yeah. Ritchie. Yeah.
Yeah. He said, but it's interesting. So we've talked with JLT and Graham Bonnet each. When you ask them, because everyone always tries to make it, oh, Ritchie fired you because of your hair, or JLT, oh, Ritchie hates you because you're so commercial. They all say to a man, like, we have no problem with Ritchie. We got along fine. Don't listen to all that bullshit.
They laugh about some of the stories that they tell about him, but
they're okay with Ritchie.
Yeah.
I always just found that Ritchie is the guitar player that just doesn't fit in with Jimmy, Eric Clapton, and Jeff Beck. And he's just as good as them, but the three of them do not like him. And they kept him out of the group.
He's just different.
They put him over there,
Yeah.
but he is just as good as all of them. I fucking think Ritchie Blackmore is a god on the guitar.
Yeah.
His style is unique in his own way. That classical music rock guitar, which you'll hear about on some of these songs, is just, to me, I don't know anybody can touch him. And he influenced everybody from Yngwie down the line trying to copy that style. Amazing.
100%. I agree completely. And he's, again, he was the guy that back in the day was smashing the guitar or storming off the stage and that's why Purple can't work with him anymore. I mean, still to this day, I toured Mexico with Deep Purple and Steve Morse was in the band, who's a brilliant guitar player, but everywhere we went, and this Blackmore had been out of the band 30 plus years at that point. Everywhere we went, people asking about Ritchie. But those guys, don't want to deal with it anymore. They just don't want to deal with them. I mean, the business they could do if they brought him back. And I don't think Blackmore does either. There's business stuff. There's old managers. There's all sorts of drama there as well. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but
he's in the woodlands making like fucking 14th century music now.
Yeah, what's his band? What's his band's name? Blackmore's Dragon
Night,
or
Blackmore's Night. Like
Blackmore's Night, whatever the hell it is.
Night.
Yeah, it's like they're doing like
Renaissance music.
Yeah, it's they're doing like fucking Lord of the Rings shit. It's like, I mean, God bless him. That's his thing. But
he lives in Long Island, New York. He's lived on Long Island for years.
Okay.
Years, Long Island, New York. And I know this because I know his wife, and I met her a few times. And her mother manages Blackmore's Night. Yep. And it's interesting because I've got an FM radio show once a week that airs in New York City. And I used to have Ronnie and people who had played and Joe Lynn and all these people who had played in Rainbow on my radio show. And Blackmore and his wife at times would hear it or listen, or his mother-in-law. And they would text me about it or email me about it. And they'd be like, well, this person said this or whatever. And I used to always say, why don't you guys come on? Why don't you have Ritchie on? Please tell him to call in. He's welcome. Let him give his side. Let him come on. And the deal was he could come on. He would come on, but I couldn't talk about Deep Purple or Rainbow. I mean,
talk about the Renaissance.
Yeah, right.
I mean, and I was always like, I'm very good about letting people plug their current shit. I have no problem with that. But I'm like, there's no way I can bring you on my show and pretend like Rainbow and Purple didn't happen. So
right. Jesus.
Never happened.
Yeah, that's crazy. But let's get back to this. The cover. This is 1976. Let's talk about the cover. Eddie, I'll let you go first.
Well, it's an iconic cover. It really, to me, speaks to the music on there because that music has such a otherworldly, incredible feel to it, I think, and is so grand and epic. But I always loved that artwork. I love that cover. And I had no idea until, a little bit after that it was done by the late, great Ken Kelly, who, of course, for all of us Kiss fans out there know for Destroyer and Love Gun. Yeah. And then when you look at it, you kind of realize that. And I met Ken Kelly at some expos and stuff over the years, and he had mock-ups of all his art, and he was selling it, and that was one of the album covers he had. But yeah, that album just perfectly captures the music, I think, and the grandness of it and the scope of it on Rising.
Yeah, what a run by Ken Kelly. You get Destroyer in 75, Rising in 76, Love Gun in 77, and then after that, he just decided to do Man of War album covers for the next, 10 years. Right. But yeah, Eddie, you're right. You can tell when you look at this, even the backdrop and some of the mountain, it kind of looks, there's touches of Destroyer on this. You can tell his painting,
the landscape in the background.
The landscaping, yeah. But you're right. The power of this album cover is friggin' awesome. I mean, just the fist with there's seaweed hanging off the fist, holding the rainbow, the mountains. It's amazing. I mean, Ken Kelly's a god with these albums, and you said it, Eddie. It just right away you kind of know what you're getting yourself into when you start listening to this album just by looking at that picture. I love it.
I wonder, was Rising before or after Destroyer?
After. Destroyer was 75. Rising was 76.
No,
I'm sorry. Destroyer was 76.
And Rising, so was Rising.
They're all 76. That's why I was saying this is 76.
That's right. I misspoke. And then Love Gun was 77.
So I wonder what art he did first, Destroyer or this.
Good point.
I mean, we won't know because even if the release dates are different, he could have done art. And the other thing that Ken Kelly
Destroyer came out in March. Rainbow came out in May. But like you said, we don't know when the artwork was done. So they came out within a few months of each other.
The other thing too that Ken Kelly he did regular paintings of that sort of stuff. And we don't know this and unfortunately Ken Kelly passed, so we don't know, but wonder because I remember when I met him and seeing some of the pieces he had up, they were kind of similar to the album covers, but they weren't the album covers. And I remember him saying that in some cases he had the painting already. Mm-hmm. And then when it got commissioned to use for an album, then he would then incorporate
the album,
the logo or something with the album. So in other words, with Rising, he could have very well had the fist and all that. And then, it's going to be a rainbow record. Okay, I'm going to put a rainbow in the fist.
Yep.
We don't know. I mean, it's just interesting to think about.
Which is kind of funny because if you look at it closely, it kind of looks like the rainbow was added on, like you said.
Could be. That whole thing could have existed and then it just got commissioned.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. So Rainbow Rising did come out May 17th, 1976. Mm-hmm. It went to number 48 on US Billboard. It's gold in the UK. There's no certification for it in the US, which is insane.
Oh, I doubt it's even gold in America.
That's insane still, because how many people talk about that this is their favorite album and it's still not even gold. But it did make it to number 44 in Greece in 2025.
Yeah, Greece.
I don't know. Yeah, Greece is still buying CDs there, probably. The only ones. But it went to number 44. I don't know why this year, but it did. It's produced by the great Martin Birch, who makes it on our album review crew for the fourth time, Tom.
By the way, we also didn't mention that Cozy Powell, this is his third appearance on album review crew.
Oh, I haven't gone into the lineup yet. But Martin Birch did Come On and Get It. We did Slide It In, and we did Peace of Mind.
That's right.
1981, Carey made this the number one metal album of all time. In 89, they moved it to 14. 2000.
What the hell happened there? It lost 13 spots.
Well, I don't know.
Metallica albums came out. That's what happened.
Yeah, this stuff came out.
Yeah. Pyromania. I don't know. Other popular albums. 2017, Rolling Stone made it number 48 of 100 greatest metal albums. So this is the first with the new lineup. He basically took the Elf lineup and started Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, kicked everybody out except for Ronnie. He added Jimmy Bain to the bass, Tony Carey to the keys, and then the late, great, one of my favorite drummers, Cozy Powell, to the drums. And the funny thing is, and we were talking about Ronnie and his problems with Ritchie and stuff. Apparently, fucking Cozy and Ritchie would torture this poor guy, Tony Carey. They played pranks on him. They were very into pranks. And they mentally fucked with this guy. I've seen videos of of Ronnie being like, do you know what the shit they did to that poor guy? Made it seem like he had to get institutionalized because they fucked with him so much. Cozy was a crazy fucking prankster. Apparently they'd be in these hotels and castles. He would climb out on the outside and take like people's furniture and move it to the roof, even though that building was locked. So when the guy'd come into his hotel room, he'd be like, "What the fuck is everything?" And Cozy would put it on the roof. He used to do like just insane stuff, and Ritchie and would entertain Ritchie, much to the detriment of this Tony Carey guy. Poor bastard.
Poor Tony.
So do you guys know what happened to Tony Carey after this?
I think he got institutionalized. As I was saying.
No.
He got all fucked up.
He had a hit single.
Oh,
Tony Carey did?
Yes.
Okay.
Wow.
So you can look this up, Tom, if you want. I don't have the computer in front of me, but I'm 99% sure. Tony Carey started a band called Planet P and had a hit single with a song called Why Me?
Got it right here. Yep.
Getting
Planet
super
P.
geeky, but
Yep. It was his science fiction themed space rock music band.
Well, I mean, his keys are fucking out there and synth. He's good. He's very good.
That song, Why Me? If you hear it, you will recognize it. It was a big song at the time. What was the year on it, Tom? Like early 80s?
The album came out. The first one came out in 1983.
Yeah. It got MTV play because it was an early MTV video.
Why me? Oh my!
That was a big song. That guy actually had the last laugh because he had a bigger hit than Rainbow had with his own thing.
Well, let's be serious. Making a space rock band could have been a byproduct from him being mentally abused. I mean, we don't. The poor guy.
Yeah,
God love him. He had a hit. So
how did he not call Ace to play guitar?
I was just gonna say that. Jeez, guys.
But the funny thing is, while I was watching this, I got into that rabbit hole of Dio, Ritchie Blackmore fighting, and then Cozy and all that stuff. And then I found this song, and I was telling Tom before he came on.
It's not good.
And they played it, and it's from Cozy Powell's Hammer. And it's called Na 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 Na. Have you heard that ever, Eddie?
No.
It sounds like the Bay City Rollers.
It sounds like Saturday Night by the Bay City Rollers.
It is the catchiest fucking pop song. It's stuck in my head. Now I had to download it and everything. I'm trying to find it. It's on his greatest hits, apparently. And it's like, na, 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 na. And this Cozy like this. And it was his band. Because the second they played it at the end clip of a video. And the first person I saw was like, that's Bernie Marsden. I recognize that guy. He's a short little portly guy on his Les Paul. I can recognize him anywhere. Like, what the fuck is Bernie Marsden doing? And then the guy looks like, I don't know, fucking the guy from Slade. And it's this pop as shit. So every time I hear him bitching about Since You've Been Gone, I'm like, dude, you did pop shit before. What the fuck's your problem? But anyways, good song. I want you to find it, Eddie, and listen to it. Tell me what you think. You're going to be like, this is Cozy Powell?
He probably got so tired of being the hired gun heavy rock drummer that he wanted to do something radically different, you know?
Yeah,
this was before he jumped into Rainbow.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, he's had a million projects and worked with the greatest of artists, Cozy. But anyways, this is the second studio album. They recorded in Munich, took less than a month. And this is while they switched now from Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow to now just Rainbow.
Yep.
So let's not waste any more time. Let's go right to the track. So first song is this.
All right, so the album kicks off with Tarot Woman, absolutely mind-blowing opener. For me, I love opening tracks, or any track for that matter, that have a very slow, patient build-up, and then just come at you and just go right for the throat. So Tony Carey's opening synth, it's like, what the hell's going on here? And then you can start to hear the guitar, and then Cozy just comes crashing through with a fill, and then it's like dun, 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 dun. Now everybody always jokes about like Iron Maiden and their galloping style of music, which is okay. This is how you do that kind of shit. This song is just absolutely fucking relentless. Dio is doing everything that every vocalist could do. He's singing melodically, he's singing growling, he's singing heavy, high notes, everything. The build-up, this is such an absolutely mind-blowing opener. I love the chorus. First of all, Tarot Woman. I love the lyrics and the stories that these guys tell. But right off the bat, Cozy Powell, just first song, he's my MVP. The song is just absolutely incredible, Eddie. I don't know how songs from this album didn't get regular radio play, especially something like this. It's just incredible.
Well, I agree with you with the build-up. It's a really cool way to set the whole table for the record. The keyboard thing, it's the spacey kind of keyboard vibe.
Yeah.
But then I agree there's that you just start hearing that guitar riff going it starts getting louder and louder, and then that builds with the keys, and then it, like you said, Cozy comes in just like boom, like huge, and then Ronnie over the top. Yeah. It's and also the whole type of song that it is, tarot woman, tarot cards, kind of mythical, what have you, trippy, whatever. It just, tying in with the album cover, tying in with the songs, the performances, the music. It's the perfect album opener. And the beginning part with just that whole keyboard thing, it's just so eerie. And you're like, where's this going? Yep. And there's that build right into the song. So yeah, it's amazing. It's a great way to kick off the record, and it's definitely one of the highlight tracks for me.
All right. So all the songs are written by Ronnie, and then the music is credited to Ronnie and Ritchie. Mm-hmm. So I love the long synth key opener, and then it's at like 117 mark, and you're like, oh, shit. And then Cozy, then that guitar riff.
For people that don't know, Ronnie... Even though Ronnie never played instruments on stage, that's how he wrote. He did play off stage, and he played bass. He was actually a really good bass player. And in his early bands, if you saw the Dio doc, he played trumpet and horns and stuff. So he was actually a very musical guy and could play stuff, but people never think of that with him because he never did it on stage. On stage, he was always just the front man.
If you find a YouTube clip, it's Ritchie talking about Ronnie. He says that. He said, like, there are songs, I forget which song he mentioned that, Ronnie came up with that middle part. And which he's like, as a lead singer to do that, to add that in musically, he's like, that's incredible. He's so talented.
Yeah, the riff to the song Holy Diver, which is obviously a legendary riff. Vinny Appice told me many times Ronnie wrote that riff, and that was done on bass. He wrote it on bass.
I believe
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just the lyrics, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself. His vocals are just incredible throughout. The drumming, the guitar, the bass, you name it. Musically, this is one of the best albums we've ever reviewed. Musically, everybody's killing it, even the keys. But just the power in his voice to open up with those lyrics. I don't want to go. Something tells me no, and just no, like fucking hitting it perfectly where the notes are going and the rhythm of the music, trucking along. It's just so incredible. Then another thing about this album that I really like, and it starts right off from track one, all of the pre-choruses are so awesome. It just
some of them are better than the chorus themselves.
Just think about it. Yeah. So you hear that I don't want to go, and then he goes, beware of a place. It's just like it's almost like a whole different song, but it's this beautiful melody, and his vocals just fucking kill it. It just makes it so smooth. That's not easy. It's just so well done because of him and his fucking talent. Ritchie's solo, another melodic solo for him, which is crazy. The pre-chorus and the chorus continues. It's just seamless. And then right as the solo ends, Cozy goes nuts again. Oh my God, his drum fills are awesome. I put tasteful keys throughout this song and the rest of the album as well. None of this fucking Crazy Nights keyboards like that just stick out and are terrible. This is like Deep Purple Whitesnake keys.
Totally.
Are the fucking best. And Aussie keys. Yep. So I just think this works. Great way to start the album. Let's go to track 2.
Well, real quick, what makes that pre-chorus, Tom, Zeus, what makes that pre-chorus to me work so well, too, is the behind it, Blackmore is playing the melody on the guitar in a classical sense.
Yes.
He's matching Ronnie.
Exactly. He does that a lot on this album.
Yes. And that is such a cool kind of classic component to what makes that stand out, I think, so much. And also, real quickly, to your point, I used to always bristle at this because people would always be like, all the times Ronnie would be on my show, or to this day, people are like, Ronnie's one of the best metal singers, the best metal singer ever. I'm like, no. Ronnie is one of the best singers, Period. Ever. Because you're doing him a disservice. You never heard a song like "Catch the Rainbow" if you think he could only sing metal, which I know is not on this record, but it's a ballad.
Oh my God!
You're not getting the whole picture if you're just putting him in the metal box, because it goes way beyond that.
Yep.
Oh yeah, and as you said, that melody, Ritchie's solo, he goes back to that. And
he does the melody again,
pre-chorus again in his solo, which he does it incredible job. All right, let's go to track number 2, Tom.
Run with the Wolf. So completely, we just totally change a pace right here. Now, I don't know if it's because it's the title of the song or if it's just the vibe and the groove of the song. Bad Company has a song called Run with the Pack, which obviously doesn't sound like Run with the Wolf. But this song reminds me of if Dio joined Bad Company, because this has that kind of bluesy groove that Paul Rodgers was known for. And it was funny, Eddie, on the day that we're recording, I just heard you interview the guys from Blackberry Smoke about the Bad Company tribute band, and they did Run with the Pack. So kind of a full circle moment as we talk about Rainbow. But anyways, I like this song. There's a reason why it's a deep cut. I mean, granted, there's only 6 tracks on the album, so kind of can't help but being a deep cut. I like it. But kind of like what we say a lot of the times, Zeus and Eddie, when we talk about bands, it's like, I like it, but this isn't what I want from Rainbow. I want Tarot Woman from Rainbow. I like it, though. I like the change of pace. I like the pummeling drums from Cozy. And, of course, just Dio singing anything is great. But, yeah, it's kind of like just a slow, kind of crushing type of rock song. It's not bad. It's not bad, Eddie.
Yeah, it's got that gallop that you mentioned earlier in like the beginning, which is kind of cool. And look, you referenced Iron Maiden being that a signature of Iron Maiden. I mean, Iron Maiden will be the first to tell you that this album probably loomed large in the influence on them too. You know, so you hear that. You also, I think, what's interesting, and you could hear that riff, that initial riff, almost being a Dio thing too. Like, I didn't know until Zeus said that Ronnie got credited with all the music on this too, and that's kind of really surprising because Blackmore is such a control freak. But if Ronnie's bringing stuff like that to the table, and when you listen to that riff and that gallop sort of thing, that is not something that you couldn't imagine hearing on Holy Diver or Last in Line. Ronnie had a lot of that galloping kind of thing. So. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a great second track. Is it like, live up to some of the other stuff? Maybe not, but it's a nice change of pace, and I do like the song, and I do to the point earlier, the pre-chorus thing. There's I'm that singer.
There's a hole in the sky. I was going to get to that.
That's really cool too.
It's awesome.
That really sets up things nicely. So that's a big part of it too.
And it's not that different from Tarot Woman. Is that the pre-chorus is there's really no chorus to Tarot Woman or this. He just says the title of the song. It's almost like the pre-chorus on both is the chorus. You know what I mean? Because for this, he just says Run with the Wolf, and then Tarot Woman, he's like Tarot Woman, and it's that pre-chorus that kind of really builds up until he sings the actual title of the track, Zeus.
Right, which is almost the hook. The chorus is almost just like a tag after the hook.
Right.
So Run with the Wolf, again, Cozy right off the start. I put the first thing after that. I put another great pre-chorus. There's a hole in the sky, and I just like the funky guitar. It's like, dun, 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 dun. It's like heavy, but not like like thrashy, but it's still heavy sounding. Ritchie, another solid solo, and then Cozy's in the middle with his drum fills killing his own, and then there's a nice little outro by Ritchie, but. We could do this with a lot of songs we like from bands. Like, is it the greatest songs? No, but it's still good. It's nothing I would turn off. I would turn it up if it came on. So I'm a fan of the song, but let's go to number 3.
So we go to Starstruck. So again, third track, different type of song here. This is kind of like 70s classic rock in a way. I think it's got a definitely kind of like, which is weird to say for a Rainbow track. It's almost got kind of like a snap your fingers kind of vibe to it, especially when you get to the chorus. And the one thing that I really like, and it's like so different about this track, is during the verses, Dio's tone, he's kind of just like smoothly, just kind of grooving along, and then comes the chorus. It's like da-da-da-da-da-da. Like this song reminds me of something, and I don't know what it is, but I love how he's like creeping like a hungry cat. Like again, he's got that groovy kind of slide, like almost like sleazy vocals. Again, another song that's doing something different, but it's got that Blackmore staple to it. I really like this song. I think this is a really cool track for sure, Eddie.
I don't know if you guys know the band that Ronnie was in prior to Rainbow,
Elf.
Yep. They put out a couple records. This, to me, feels almost like it could have been something that Elf did at one point, in direction-wise, a little bit. Yep. The other thing, and this is going to come into play a little bit with another track that's going to come up here, but the thing that makes this song unusual to me, it's definitely catchy and it's hooky and all that, but is the subject matter, because Ronnie rarely ever wrote songs about chicks, groupies, love songs, anything like that. Ever.
I was gonna save that comment for another song, but go ahead.
Well, that's why I said it's going to come up again in a minute.
Sure.
Because it's so I always thought this song, to me, at least my interpretation of it, is kind of about a groupie. You know, it sounds like it's a group. The lady starstruck, she's coming after me. You know, so that is a subject matter that Ronnie rarely went into. Ronnie was always very, like, kind of joked about the fact that he never wrote goofy, prototypical rock star love songs or groupie on the road songs. Basically, the total opposite of what Kiss's whole catalog is.
Yeah.
But Ronnie was like, Ronnie was very much like about that. But look, this was a very early version of Ronnie. And you got to also think that one of the things that Blackmore wanted to do coming out of Deep Purple, which never fully broke in America like they did in Europe, was get on the radio in America.
Totally.
I mean, he desperately wanted to do that, and he didn't do it until Jolene. But you might also look at this, and I'm just speculating, of course, that a song like Starstruck could have been him almost saying to Ronnie, hey, look, we got to write something that we could hear getting played on the radio. The Dungeons and Dragons and stuff and Tara Woman and all that's great. But I kind of did that with Purple to some degree, and I need a 3-minute song that's going to get on the radio maybe.
Yep.
And I don't know if this was released as a single, but to me, it would have been the candidate. I think the song's only like 3 minutes long.
Yeah. Yeah. So, this actually was the only single released from the album.
There you go. I didn't even know that, but to me, just looking at it, of the 6 songs, this would have been the one I would have went with.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, and it fits that bill perfectly for what it is, and for what the rest of the record is. It sits nicely as that kind of song.
Yeah.
All right. So Starstruck, I mean, I love that opening line. If I'm high on a hill, she will still be looking down at me. I think this is funky. It's cool. The lyrics, it's melodic as all hell. And I read about it, or I saw people talking about it, that the song is about Ritchie had a stalker that was following him. And that's where he got this song. So he wrote it about the stalking lady. When I saw, Lady Starstruck, that's what I thought he was saying, Lady Starstruck. When I used to listen to it in the car, I was like, oh, some other magical wizard woman or something, something about that. But then when I started listening like to the lyrics, I'm like, you're right. This is about as far as Dio would ever go. But there's a story behind it. And the story was this woman that was stalking him. I've always loved this song. This is a type of song that if you hear this album once through the first time, you'll be like, you'll remember that, because that fucking catchy chorus and stuff is so
sticks in your head.
Oh yeah. It's just fantastic. And you're right. We didn't really even say anything. Is this not the godfather of like Dungeons and Dragons rock? Like this
of course it is. Yeah. It's gotta be
just about. Right,
yeah.
every Halloween and fucking all those other bands. This is it, right? This is
pretty much
right down to the album cover,
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yep.
All right, let's go to the fourth track.
Do You Close Your Eyes? So let's start off. So musically, I really like this song. I think I like the way it moves along. I think the band sounds great as always. Dio's vocals sound great. But this is, I feel like this is the kind of song where Paul Stanley was like, Ritchie, I got a great song for your new album. We couldn't fit it onto Rock and Roll Over, so here's a song, Do You Close Your Eyes When You're Making Love? Like, what are we doing here? I mean, like you said, Eddie, look, for all the teasing and the joke that we do about the Dungeons and Dragons and Tarot Woman, that's what I want Dio to sing about. It just doesn't sound right to hear Dio say, do you close your eyes when you're making love? Like, all right. No, but lyrically aside, I do like the song. It's definitely, we haven't ranked the tracks yet, but, it's definitely not a hit for a reason. But again, I love listening to this band play anything, but this song is quite goofy in my opinion, Eddie.
I don't disagree with anything you said, Tom. I think that it's a really interesting inclusion because it's just not a lyric that you would hear or expect from Dio. It's just so counter to everything that's Dio. And again, the song is called "Do You Close Your Eyes," but then the second part of it is "When You're Making Love." It's just odd. It's like it's not something that you would expect at all coming from Ronnie lyrically. But
no,
again, I think at this point, Ronnie was still probably kind of trying to figure out where he slotted in and figure out his persona, and probably was a little more open to trying different things musically and lyrically, and had not even, not been the guy, throwing the horns and,
right.
I think it was just a different thing. And I think again, and I obviously can't speak for him, but knowing him and knowing what was going on with Rainbow at this time, there was a great degree of pressure to have a hit.
Yep.
He did not have hits. And it's like, again, Europe, a different story. But in America, it's like, I got to get on the radio and I got to get some success and get played. And I can't keep doing 8-minute, even though that's what we love, 8-minute Dungeons and Dragons explorations about rainbows and Tarot Woman. So that to me is what these songs represent. This is like, okay, we're going to give you 6 songs. 3 of them are going to be 7-8 minutes long, but okay, here's your couple nuggets that maybe you can get on the radio. And that's where I look at this song as being. I don't dislike the song. I don't dislike anything about it. It's just kind of a little bit of an anomaly.
Mm-hmm.
So Do You Close Your Eyes? I put that, it sounds like the precursor to Power. If you know the song from Straight Between the Eyes.
Yes, okay.
Dan.
That's it. Maybe that's what I was thinking of. Zeus.
You got the power.
Yes.
Yeah, that song. Another great pre-chorus. I see your glow around you. Right. Yep. I love that. Just put a straightforward rocker that probably would be better suited on side 2 of Down to Earth, not on this album.
Yep.
And it's just, or I put rare non-fantasy type song. The song is the shortest song on the album. It's like 3 minutes. And you probably didn't notice this, but there is no guitar solo on this.
Made for the radio.
Yep.
So,
all right, let's turn this over. There's only 2 songs on this album. Let's turn this over. And I can't wait to hear about what you guys think about this song.
So we get to Stargazer. Pretty much the whole point of this album, in my opinion. What can you say about this? There's going to be a lot to say. I think we're all going to have the pretty much the same, but let's start off with one of the greatest drum intros, if arguably not the greatest drum intro that anybody's ever done. Cozy Powell come in, just absolutely crushing you with this. And then one of the greatest riffs and one of the greatest grooves and one of the greatest tempos in all of hard rock and metal. Dio's vocals and the story that he is telling about this. And then the solo, you have the Munich Philharmonic Orchestra that jumps in. I mean, this is like the definition of epic metal. I no words that I'm going to say are going to do this thing justice. But if you are a fan of hard rock and early metal, this song is just perfect from start to finish. It is 8 minutes plus, of just magic. And I absolutely love, I know I've heard some people complain about the outro is long and the way that Dio is wailing near the end. No. To me, goosebumps. Just I almost don't want the song to end. And I could see Eddie and Zeus are nodding their heads in agreement. The song is it's just magnificent, Eddie.
I mean, I don't know what else you could say. To me, this is one of the great masterpieces ever in rock across the board. It is obviously the centerpiece track on this whole record. It again ties in with the album cover art, like you just, as a kid, staring at that album cover and listening to the grand scope of this song. As you said, Tom, I mean, there's nothing wrong here at all. It's like
nothing.
It's 8 minutes, but it doesn't feel like 8 minutes. I did a radio show recently where I had people call in with their top 5 drum intros, and this was on my list. I was surprised how many people did not have it, but again, that speaks to, unfortunately, how few people know this record.
Yep.
But it is, like you said, the riff, the opening drum intro, the solo break, well, where do we go? I mean, just,
can you do that one more time, Eddie?
No, I'll spare you.
Dun, 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 dun. It's just it's the kind of song like I wish I knew how to play an instrument so I could play this.
I talked to Ronnie about it so many times, and I'll tell you, to your point about the fade.
Oh, I love that.
I'm one of these, like, I will turn the knob up as it fades to get more of it before it's gone.
Yeah.
Because of all the insane vocals that Dio recorded, even on this record, but in his whole catalog, on that fade where he's singing, "What my eyes are bleeding," I get it right. It's like it blew my mind out. Yep. And I remember talking to him about it. I used to get a kick out of it because I used to get like animated like I am now. I just feel like, oh my God, Ronnie, like, which I wish I was there sitting next to Martin Birch, because I don't you dare fade that down. Don't you dare fade that down. Just keep it up. Let it go for 11 minutes. Who cares? Because him going high like that and singing that on the outro is actually probably like of a brilliant, flawless, amazing masterpiece. That's like the insane moment, like over the riff and him just singing up high like that. Mm. Insane. So to the people who don't like the fade, I don't know what you're smoking, because the only problem with the fade is it fades.
It fades. Yeah, it's a good point. Exactly. You don't want it to end.
Yeah.
All right. Stargazer. Yes, probably the reason I specifically picked this album. It is just one of, I think, the greatest all-around songs you can pick. There's nothing wrong with it, whether you're talking about the vocals, the guitar, the drums, the keys, bass, everything's perfect. The lyrics, it is so fucking incredible. It's a morality tale told by Ronnie from the standpoint of an Egyptian slave, apparently, and the guy that's running this is some wizard astronomer who wants all these slaves to build this big tower because he thinks he can fly.
Yep.
And all these people, as he sings in the song, in the chorus, and everyone, I'm sorry, if you're in the car, do you not do this too? In the heat of the rain, with whips and chains. Yeah, like he's just not using that voice.
Yep.
It's like, just to see him fly, so too many died, and we build the Tower of Stone. It's just fucking incredible. And the orchestra's there. It just makes it even more powerful. To me, this has that like foreboding, like something's coming, something big, heavy, that reminds me of Zeppelin's When the Levee Breaks and also Kashmir. So those are the songs. In addition, when you were talking about, like, I don't want to turn it down when he's going nuts at the end, I'm thinking of that kind of bridge where Robert goes nuts on When the Levee Break, when he starts singing about going to Chicago.
Yep.
That's what I'm waiting for at this outro part where he's singing. And I absolutely love that little, I don't know, Easter egg there where he starts saying, I see a rainbow rising.
I love that.
You got to pick that out,
Yep, I love that.
Just goosebumps is the least of it. And Cozy fucking kills it. The song is just
he's a beast.
As all fuck. And the chorus, the melody, I'm gushing over this. But the one thing I will say, Eddie, again, I went down this rabbit hole, but I saw this video years ago. There's a part where I don't know what bitterness. Ronnie was a little bitter sometimes on these videos. Sure. And he was talking about like comparing this album to Long Live Rock and Roll and Heaven and Hell. He's like, yeah, this is good. Oh, this is shit. This is side 2 of some fucking egomaniac doing a 30-minute guitar fill and a 20-minute drum solo. This is pretentious shit. And I'm like, dude, come on, Ronnie. What are you saying?
Well, he had his issues with Blackmore, and he probably was just in that one of those modes at that time. There was some resentment there for sure.
Oh yeah. But I mean, come on. This song is just one of his, like, I think, triumphs. And obviously there was some tension there, and then they had tension with Cozy. But eventually, I think they joined together for a little bit. There was Sabbath for a little bit together.
Yeah, the one other thing about Stargazer is when, Blackmore did do some shows, I don't know what it was, 8-10 years ago, where he did rock shows. They weren't in America, but he resurrected Rainbow, and he played in Europe, like a few festivals. I think he had Ronnie Romero singing for him. And it's a totally different band. And I do remember he did a few interviews at that time in the European press, and they were like, well, what are you going to play? And he's like, well, apparently there's this song called Stargazer that people tend to like in my catalog that I probably will get killed if I don't play, so we're going to have to do that one. So even he had to acknowledge that this was, as epic as it gets and had to be represented when they did those live shows.
Did you hear about that band that they did for a little bit? All like the former members of Rainbow, and they went out and played some shows for a little bit?
No.
Yeah, there was a little, I don't know, I'm trying to find it while we're talking, but they got together and there was like, I think all 3 singers and different members of the band.
Wow.
And I'll look it up and figure it out. But yeah, it was supposedly, they were just doing Rainbow songs with the singers, which I don't have a problem with it. I mean, it's probably sound just as good. So, all right, we got one more track to go.
So we wrap up the album with A Light in the Black. So as epic and foreboding and just bombastic as Stargazer is, now here you go with maybe the earliest example of speed metal. I mean, from this song's even longer. No, I take it back. It's 10 seconds shorter than Stargazer. Stargazer's 8:22, Light in the Black's 8:11. This song, relentless from start to finish. Cozy, pay attention. I love the drums. Every time we do albums, I always focus on the drums. It's the one, my calling in life that I never answered to. I should have been a drummer, but instead I'm here talking about drummers. But Cozy is the beat that he's keeping during the verses. And then when he comes in and is doing the double bass and everything, the song is just absolutely mind blowing. And the thing that makes me just lose my mind when I hear this song is that probably half of it is a dueling solo between Ritchie and Tony. It's like keyboard versus guitar. It's absolutely mind-blowing. And when I hear Stargazer, I'm like, this is the greatest Rainbow song ever. And then I hear Light in the Black. Oh, no, this is the greatest Rainbow song. I mean, it's one of the greatest ways to end an album ever. Again, I have the vinyl. These 2 songs are the only 2 songs on side 2 because it's 16 minutes of music. It's absolutely incredible. Dio's vocals, but what Cozy is doing tempo-wise, and then those solos back and forth, just an absolutely incredible. I mean, you feel like you're exhausted and you're drained by the time this song is over, and I think that's the way an album closer should be. I think this song is just almost just as magnificent as Stargazer, Eddie.
Well, it's funny because knowing we were going to do this today, even though I've listened to this record a billion times, I still put it on yesterday. Yep. And the only song I didn't listen to again yesterday was Stargazer, because if I listen to the record a billion times, I've listened to Stargazer 2 billion times. So
right.
I got that one good.
Yeah.
But I actually believe and think that, like you said, A Light in the Black is almost overlooked.
Yes.
Because Stargazer is before it.
Yes.
And anything after Stargazer has kind of been like, you're going to be like, well, that's untoppable. But you're right. In listening to the record again, this song yesterday, I'm like, damn, it's pretty close right there.
Mm-hmm.
And epic, unbelievable. Like you said, tempo wise, very few things that fast at that time.
No.
And that guitar interplay with the keys and that duel and that whole trade-off, at times it's like classical, medieval, like all that stuff going on. But it also is, to me, and I'm sure that people who are super into Deep Purple, when they heard this, that probably really connected with them, because to me, A Light in the Black and that whole dual keyboard guitar thing screams of early Deep Purple. Like, depending upon how many people are listening know early Deep Purple, but to me, that was a huge signature of Deep Purple. John Lord, Ritchie Blackmore, dueling, trading off, all that stuff. And to me, this was the first time where Blackmore was like, and for my Purple fans, I'm going to show you where that came from, and did that. And it's a total nod to Deep Purple in that way. But the tempo, the drums, like you said, everything about it, just epic. And in a way, overlooked, I think, because Stargazer is before it. It's amazing. And yeah, it's crazy. The record only has 6 songs. So side 2 is 2 songs, but coming in somewhere around whatever it is, 15, 16 minutes. But yeah, they have thrown another song on there. Sure, they probably could have fit another 3-4 minute one easily, but I don't think you could end the record any better.
No.
So A Light in the Black. So did you guys realize that the lyrics are a continuation of Stargazer?
Yes, the story. It's the story continuing.
The story continues. It's what are we doing now? That's why the slave is talking about going home.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that either. Wow.
Yeah. Hey, buddy, it's called Wikipedia, and it's always 100% right.
Yep.
But that's what they said, that Ronnie wrote it as though now the slaves are free. What do?
And that's why that's why it's so up tempo. It's like frenetic. Yes.
Yeah. And so that's where they came from. It's just insane. It's insane. Like, just that musicianship. And you're so right, because I'm a big whole umbrella of that family tree, the Black Sabbath, White Snake, Deep Purple, fucking Rainbow. They're all incestuous, been in each other's bands. And I know I'm forgetting one other band in there, but John Lord with what he does, and Ritchie and stuff, it's just incredible. That solo that starts at 2:45 mark goes to about 6:07.
Well, it's half the song.
How many bands do we have that we've done, Tom, that you could say, yeah, that band could do what they're doing?
Honestly,
if they start studying it and following it, I'm saying, come up with that and do that originally. No,
when I hear Stargazer and Light in the Black, Zeppelin is the only band that could
musically I'm thinking that could do it, but they wouldn't do it because it's not Page and Blackmore, complete different guitarists, right? The classical versus the blues. I think that's how I would see them.
Jimmy Page, Zeppelin could do Stargazer. I mean, Jimmy Page probably heard Stargazer, was like, fuck, that song's awesome. We could have done that.
Yeah, well, they had Presence coming out there, so they had their own shit going on with Achilles' Last Stand and stuff.
Exactly, yes.
And then...
But the only band that could do what Light in the Black was Deep Purple.
Right. Good point. There you go, yeah.
Deep Purple could have done that. If Blackmore brought that song to Deep Purple, they would have destroyed it too. Ian Pace and John Lord, forget it. It would have been amazing.
Right. That's right.
That's why I think it's so connected to Purple.
Yep.
I also love early White Snake too.
Oh, and
I think Bernie Marsden and McMoody, a great guitar duo. I don't think Bernie's doing fucking this though.
No.
Yeah. And you got to tip your hat and just say, this is off the charts brilliance. It's classical music. And then I think what ends up happening is somebody like a Randy Rhoads still takes that classical training, brings it to a whole different level on a different kind of off to the side. I love those type of guitarists. I love it. I just think it's fantastic. Their talent is off the charts. This could be a fucking orchestra. This could be a symphony. all this shit, all of Blackmore shit could be a symphony when he starts playing like this. This is just incredible stuff. So anyways, and the one other thing is I thought that the song sounded a little familiar when I think of Lost in Hollywood on
Oh, yeah.
Earth.
That's a great call, Zeus. That's a good one. Yeah, you're right.
That has a little, you're changing the lyrics and obviously a little bit different. But that's why I always think that Down to Earth is that middle ground. They're starting to move away, and then JLT says, fuck it, we're doing it this way. But anyway, that's how.
And then one last thing I just want to say, because I do have to run. But the one thing I do want to say about this record, too, that we mentioned him, but I don't think you can you give him enough praise, is the late, great Martin Birch, because this record still holds up sonically. It sounds amazing sonically. And for people that don't know Martin Birch's history, he was an engineer with Deep Purple, and he was basically, for a long time, basically the sixth member of Iron Maiden, did every classic Iron Maiden record. Yes. And sadly, Martin Birch died a few years ago, not that long ago. And it was funny because, not funny that he died, of course, but what was odd was I didn't know Martin Birch, and I always wanted to interview him. I just didn't have a way to get to him. And then when I heard he died, I was so bummed because I never got a chance to talk to him. And I had assumed that Martin Birch probably was like 85 years old, given that he worked on Deep Purple in rock in 1970 and all this stuff. Mm-hmm. Only to find out that Martin Birch was like, I think when he died, he was like early 70s because he started working as an engineer extraordinarily young. Like when he first got involved with Purple on the early records, he was like 17, 18 years old or something. So he left production and got out of doing all this stuff. And he actually got really into martial arts, apparently, and went into just left the music business for like 20 years and did other stuff. But man, when you listen to Martin Birch stuff, whether it's Black Sabbath, Heaven and Hell, or the Maiden records, or this record, or the Purple stuff, Whitesnake, that guy was a master of making timelessly great sounding recordings.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. All right. So let's get to the part where we rank these songs. So song number 6, I'll start this off, Tom. I'm going to go with Do You Close Your Eyes? We'll go to you and then Eddie.
Same.
I'd say the same, too.
I have a feeling our rankings might be the same. Yeah.
Pretty much in unison as far as how we felt about most of these tracks, but I would have to go with that, too.
Yep.
5 is Run with the Wolf.
Same.
Yeah. I hate to be boring, but I'm there, too.
No, I mean, there's only 6 tracks, so.
Yeah. It's not that difficult. This is where it gets a little tough. 4 is a Light in the Black for me.
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
And I love the song. I know. I know that else a little more.
Yeah, the top 4 are correct. Yeah, for me, and I love this song, but I'm going Starstruck number 4.
I'm going Starstruck as well at 4.
Okay.
All right. 3 is Tarot Woman for me.
Same.
Yeah, gotta be. Yes. Okay. Tarot Woman.
2 for me is Starstruck. That's where I break off.
Okay. No, I get it. 2 for me is Light in the Black.
Same. Light in the Black.
And then, of course,
number 1 is the same.
We all have the same, of course, across the board.
Yeah.
Yep.
One last thing that we always do, and I'll start with Tom real quick. And that's this. Tom, what makes you rock hard this week?
I really wish we could change the name of this segment, but we're 65 albums into it here, so I like when we ask our guests. That's always the good part, huh?
All right, we'll start with Eddie then. Eddie, what makes you rock hard?
Yeah, Eddie, tell us. What are you into right now? Books, movies, podcasts, albums, bands. What do you want to let everybody know?
Well, I'm excited about the Joe Perry Project tour.
Yes, they're coming to New Hampshire, coming to Hampton.
Very excited about that because I love Aerosmith and I love that Joe and Brad are out playing and I love the Black Crowes. I love Chris Robinson singing. I love they're doing a lot of deep tracks. It's not for the casual fan, and I love that. I'm not sure where I'm going to see it yet. There's only a handful of dates, but I'm going to definitely go to one of those. It's to put a bad tone to you guys there in New England, but I'm super excited about the Giants football season, even though we're not planned to be that good. I think we might sneak up on some people. They've looked good in camp. Jackson Dart looks like the real deal.
He does look
good. So I'm
good.
excited about that. And
so can we play this back to you at the end of the season?
Sure. No, of course. It can't be worse than last year.
Danny Dimes gone.
And then on an unsports or music related thing, I just watched this documentary that blew my mind on Netflix. I love documentaries. It's called something like Amy Something is Missing. It's
the girl on the cruise ship.
The girl on the cruise ship that
Yes.
disappeared. It's 3 episodes on Netflix, and it blew my mind. And I still don't know. They still don't know where she is or what happened. But all these theories just really pulled me in. And it also really resonated because I'm someone who goes on a ton of cruises, both for vacation and for work. And it was really eye-opening. It was crazy. Wow. It was a crazy doc on Netflix just came out.
Wow.
Tom?
Yeah, so a couple things. I'll do 2 things because kind of Eddie did two things too. So a new show I discovered on Netflix. The first season only had 6 episodes, but it's been renewed. It's a show called Untamed. It takes place in Yosemite National Park, and it's about park rangers. They find this is not a spoiler. They find this freak accident with this. They find this body of this young girl, and they spend 6 episodes trying to figure out. But like any other good show, they get deep into character building and world building, and you really start to become attached to these characters. Eric Bana is the star of the show. He's fucking incredible. It's only 6 episodes because it was the first season, but it's been renewed, and I think the second season will probably dig a little bit deeper, but it's a fantastic show. Each episode is about 45 minutes or so. Highly recommend it. That's Untamed. And then the other show, I mentioned this way back on when we did the Rock Hard thing, but since then there's been like 3 more incarnations, but it's the new version of Dexter, and it's Dexter Resurrection. So spoiler alert, if you haven't watched Dexter, he ain't dead, because the new series came out called Dexter Resurrection. It's on Paramount Plus Showtime. I'm telling you, I can't get enough of this character, and I can't get enough of this world. It's incredible. If you love these kinds of like shows, again, with characters and world building, and this season of this series is wild. The cameos, the top shelf A-list names that are on this, it's incredible stuff. So check that out.
All right, I'll go quick. For me, it's Netflix that came out a while back. I watched it for the second time. That's how much I love it. I'm a big history buff. It's called The Last Tsars. So it's about Nicholas II, the Romanovs, and it shows how he got his power and what happened with the Russian economy and how they turned on him, World War I, and how ends up the Bolsheviks and the revolution and how they get thrown in jail and how they all get murdered. And they have real actors acting this out. And in addition to the acting, they'll pause it and have historians give you the history behind it.
Nice.
It's so well fucking done. And it's just a beautiful story. If you don't know the story about the Romanovs, it's always one of those haunting things for me in history. I love Russian history. I was going to, when I graduated in 95 and the Russian Empire had fallen and Soviet Union had dropped, and I started trying to learn Russian. I took Russian history and politics. I was going to try to go there thinking of all this great opportunity, and nothing happened. But I still found it fascinating. The show is fan-fucking-tastic. You'll learn so much history, and it's just an amazing, well-acted, full of history, and it's on Netflix. It's called The Last Tsars. Eddie, we can't thank you enough. Anything you want to plug?
No. It's always good to talk to you guys, and it's always fun, and I appreciate it. And every day, Monday through Friday, SiriusXM Channel 103, Faction Talk, 3 to 5 Eastern Time live. Had some amazing guests lately. Had Bruce Dickinson in studio last week. Awesome. Scorpions in studio last week. Tom Morello in studio last week. Nice. So there's video coming and stuff to the app as well on some of that, and people can catch up. Every full shows, interviews, it's all on the app if you can't listen in the live window. And Hair Nation Mondays 5 to 8 Eastern. And I got a bunch of cool. I'm hosting Rocklahoma coming up Labor Day weekend. I've been doing that since 2007. Nice. So looking forward to that and just keep chugging along. But great to visit with you guys. I love talking Kiss, but this was fun going into a different turf. So
love it, Eddie. Thanks so much for your time, man. We really appreciate it. We know you're up against the clock, so we appreciate it very much, buddy.
Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason.
Hall of Famer, Eddie Trunk. We'll talk soon, brother.
Thanks, buddy.
Appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Tom, that was the great Eddie Trunk, man. Always great to have him on. And I know he's a big fan of Dio, so I think he was an excellent choice for this episode.
It was great. Loved it. Good stuff always with Eddie. So yeah, and like he even said, he loves talking Kiss with us, but who doesn't love talking about something different every once in a while? So good stuff for sure.
Yeah. Now, Tom, comes the difficult part.
Yep.
We're going to do rankings right now.
Okay.
And I got to give you guys a caveat.
Oh, yeah.
Tom and I finally woke up and changed our numbers around and updated our list. So I was moving things from all the way as low as 20 to 10.
Oh,
we changed a lot of our rankings.
Yeah.
Songs, albums, the covers stayed the same. We didn't change those.
Covers stay the same, but our top 50 songs, our bottom 20 songs, and our album rankings are all over the place. So those are in the process of all being updated for you to check out. But yeah, there were some albums that when we reviewed it, they were like, I'm going to put this at 24. Now I'm like, why is that not my top 10?
Yeah, the things got moved around, to say the least. And so let's do album covers, Tom. This is Rainbow Rising.
All right. So my top 5 covers right now at number 5, Rage Against the Machine, Blizzard of Oz, Purple Rain, Master of Puppets, Diary of a Madman. I love this cover. I just think it's really badass and powerful. And like we talked with Eddie, kind of sets the scene for what you're about to listen to. And of course, the great Ken Kelly doing the artwork. I'm going to put this at number 20 for me for the cover.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. I like it a lot.
My top 5, Diary of a Madman, Appetiti, Blizzard of Oz, Hotel California, Elvis NBC TV special. Where am I putting this? It is fucking unique. I'm going to put this at number 11.
Okay.
And that's
cool.
Underneath Come and Get It. I just love that snake in the apple.
Oh, yeah. I love that
and
too.
Above,
yep.
Kick.
Okay.
In Excess.
Okay.
So I'm putting it at 11. Now comes the hard part, Tom. All right, Tom, we moved everything around, but I think our top 5 is basically the same. What's your top 5 for albums?
Yeah, my top 5 didn't move. So 5 for me is High and Dry, Shout at the Devil, Purple Rain, Moving Pictures, Master of Puppets. This was tricky because it's 6 songs, but it's pretty powerful. But honestly, this is one of those albums that probably in a year I'm going to be like, why do I have it ranked here? I should put this higher. But for now, I'm putting it at 26.
Okay.
Yep.
So underneath Slide It In and above Super Unknown.
Correct. Yep.
Wow, I'm surprised.
Yeah, I love it. I just think, Stargazer itself just carries so much weight.
Yeah, again, it's hard to compare some of these albums.
That's the problem. I agree.
If we did Super Unknown in next month again,
dude, I love that album.
Be like, you'd move it up.
That's on my Mount Rushmore of freaking grunge albums, and I have it ranked 30. It's hard. It's hard.
It just recency bias it makes this difficult. That's all.
Yep.
So my top 5, Purple. I changed mine. Purple goes to 5, which was number 1 at one point.
Oh wow.
Blizzard of Oz is at 4. Automatic for the People is 3. I moved Hotel California to 2, and I kept NBC Elvis TV special 1.
Okay.
So where am I putting Rising? The problem I get with this is it's better than Difficult to Cure.
Oh, by far.
It's better than Down to Earth for me. I don't know. I've been listening to it so much, and there's not a bad song on there.
It's just a bad. I know you love Down to Earth. I know a lot of people do. I just feel like there's so much power and energy on Rising. It's Dio.
It's just you also got to get into it, kind of. There's only 6 songs. So the problem is the songs on Down to Earth. I fucking Since You Be Gone is one of my favorite songs. I love All Night Long. I fucking
that carries weight.
Lost in Hollywood. I love Danger Zone.
Yep.
And Eyes of the World to me could have easily been on Rising. That build up and shit.
I agree. Yep.
And the galloping and shit like that. That could have. So,
yep.
And I just love the underdog part of it. What I get to next is it better than Come and Get It in Night Songs. I really fucking love that Night Songs album. I'll be honest. That fucking album rocks.
Dude, you do you.
Come and Get It. Come and Get It's got some great songs that I love.
Pretty Crazy Little White Girl.
Would I lie to you just to get in your pants, baby?
Oh, God. Hot stuff. Dan.
I'm going to put it below those guys because I can always move it up. I'm going to put it at 27, just above Kick. And I love that fucking album.
All right. Wow. I'm surprised. Wow.
Yeah. And
is that like one of your lowest ranked personal picks?
No. Kick?
No. Rising.
No.
Okay.
I remember, Difficult to Cure is my pick. I put it at 29. That's below it.
Oh, yeah. That's true.
Doggy Style's 32. I picked that. 7800 Fahrenheit's 33. Detonator's 36. Like, I put stuff sometimes because I want to hear a certain song or certain thing. I think Detonator might be my lowest pick for me. And then what happens is you pick a song that, an album that I could have easily picked, and I loved it just as much.
Yeah.
I will tell you, though, Tom, of all these albums, the stuff that moved up the most for me is your pick of Wasting Light. I fucking love that album. And
really?
I would know nothing about that album.
Wow, that's interesting.
For your pick.
That's good to hear.
Yeah, Hailstorm's debut. I like that. I moved that up. I like Load. I really do like Load a lot.
You know what moved up for me was two classics that I think I penalized because of fatigue, and that's Pyromania and Appetite for Destruction. I think I dropped them way down just because I was like, God, I've been listening to those albums for 40 years. But then looking at my rankings, I'm like, this is
Kissel.
I was just gonna say that. God damn it!
The way you phrased that sounded
this
like
is Kissel. Yeah. So I kind of we righted a few wrongs on our album rankings.
Like, I think we both have Heat 2 as the worst now.
Well, look,
when I remembered there was a pleasant listening album, but there's not one song I remember how it goes.
Well, that's the problem that's the problem is that I never listened to it before. I've never listened to it since, and I can't remember anything from it. So I had 7800 Fahrenheit last, but I'm like, I love In and Out of Love and Tokyo Road. That can't be last.
So this is the common theme that we have a problem with. If you have an album that has one or two good songs that you like, but the rest of it kind of sucks, is it better than an album that you don't really hate anything, but nothing sticks out? Like Among the Living, I don't hate that album.
Right.
But there's nothing like, I got to go to this song. So Winger has 17. I like that song. There's a bunch of shit I hate on that.
Yep.
Bad English, When I See You Smile, Price of Love, and Forget Me Not. Great songs to me.
Yep.
But the rest of it, they have some shit on that album. Some of the worst songs.
That's how you have to balance the album.
The same thing. Nothing I really go to, but it's not that bad.
Right.
So I was like, I started thinking, like, why am I penalizing these?
Yeah.
I'd rather like have something sometimes where nothing's really that bad than one or two good songs and a bunch of shit.
Yep. No, I get it.
Yeah,
True.
Heat 2, Bullet Boys, and fucking Queensryche are my lowest.
Oh, I love Queens. I love that album. It's fucking awesome. Get ready for when
I
we do
moved
Empire.
OU812 up a little bit.
Get ready for when we do Empire. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other big one that jumped for me. OU812.
Yep.
Finish What You Start is one of my favorite Van Halen songs.
Great song. Yeah, of course. Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, that's that. Tom, next thing we do, where can you find us?
Yeah, so if this is your first time listening to us, we are usually an all-Kiss podcast, dropping Kiss-related episodes every Saturday. However, we do these album review crew episodes once a month. We pick an album, we bring a third man in. So please check us out at shoutitoutloudcast.com. Follow us on all the social medias. We're everywhere, very active. And, of course, our email address is shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. We want to hear your feedback on Rainbow Rising. And get ready for the month of September. The Patreon pick is in. And, that's all I'll say about that pick that we're going to do for September.
Yeah, I can't wait. We'll see who we're going to have to join us on the Mystery Third Man.
That's right.
We appreciate all your support and thank you. And make sure you go to our website, shoutitoutloudcast.com, for everything about Shout Out Loudcast, album review crew, merch, info, episodes, you name it, it's on there. So
it's all there.
Thank you guys for listening. And Tom, we always like to end on famous last words. Do you have any?
Oh, of course I do. She can take you there, the entrance to the fair. My. Ride the carousel and cast a magic spell. You can fly. Welcome to Peter Pan.
In the heat of the rain, with whips and chains, to see him fly, so many died. We built a tower of stone, without flesh and bone, just to see him fly, but don't know why.
Oh my God!
Where do we go?
Oh, you just turned into Buffalo Bill. Oh wait.
Was she a great big fat girl?
Great big fat Carol woman.
But where did we go? Eddie Trunk, Tom, Loudcast, Kiss Army, Ronnie Tards, Rainbow Tards, you name it. Thank you.
Eddie Trunk, thanks so much. It was a blast. Great album choice, Zeus. I'm a fan. I love it. Dio Tards, Rising Tards. I hope you enjoyed it. Zeus, as always, my friend, thank you.
Peace out, Girl Scout.